Championship and the coveted Lonsdale belt. Sponsored here by PartyPoker.com, the world's largest poker room. And live and exclusive here on Sky Sports, it's Friday Fight Night. All the officials appointed by the British Boxing Border Control. General Secretary Simon Block has appointed steward in charge Jeff Bolter, timekeeper Gary Grennan, and our 3 scoring judges. Phil Edwards of Preston, Dave Paris of Leeds, and Mickey Van of Leeds. The referee in charge of the action from Doncaster is Mr. Howard Foster. They are the officials, and here are the contestants. Firstly, and introducing to you, fighting out of the blue corner. He's wearing the blue trunks trimmed with white, weighed in at 9 stone and 12 pounds with a 25-fight record. 23 wins, 11 inside the scheduled distance, and only 2 defeats. From Brixton, South London, here's Dangerous Ted Bami. Ladies and gentlemen, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the cross of St. George, the white trunks with red trim, weighing in at 9 stone, 13 and a quarter pounds, a 24-fight record, 22 wins, 11 inside the scheduled distance, just a 1 loss and 1 draw. He is from Manchester. Out of the Shabby Gym, fighting fit, David Hulme. So, sports fans and Friday Fight Night fans, let's get the action underway then. 12 rounds of boxing for the vacant British Light Welterweight Championship and the coveted Lonsdale belt.
Spoke to you both in the dressing room. You both know what I expect. Keep it clean, break straight away when told. Both you watch your heads. Good luck to you both. Touch gloves. Good luck, lads.
Fascinating, intriguing 50-50 matchup here for the British light welterweight title. 49 fights, 45 wins, 22 knockouts between them. It's the orthodox puncher, Ted Bami, and the slick southpaw, David Barnes. And we hope for another domestic tussle to savour, if the styles gel, and they should do, Jim.
Yeah, they should. All the ingredients are there. I mean, Barnes looked exceptional just about 2.5, 3 years ago, showing wonderful form. He had everything going for him. He certain to go all the way to the top. A couple of tour performances, and his career has stalled since then. But he's going to need confidence here, and it's a tricky situation he's in. This is the first time he's been at the weight, and it's a championship fight. He's just picked a nice left hand there.
This has been off the boil of late. Same could be said about Bami too. Some time out of the ring. And both will need to settle quickly. Barnes very wary of Bami's quick starts. Tries to get you out of a rhythm, doesn't he, Bami? And that's key here.
Yeah, he uses his own strengths, doesn't allow you to box to yours, but he's been clipped by a couple of neat-looking left hands already, not an awful lot of power. But Barnes has picked them nicely, and his own defences are fairly sound.
Electing to box on the move, David Barnes. If you watched Rendell Munro's wonderful performance, the southpaw, last week on Friday Fight Night, taking the European Super Bantamweight title. A performance like that from Barnes against the come-forward Bami will be very useful.
Well, I think Bami will be pleased by the fact that he's getting close to Barnes. He hasn't landed anything yet, but he's been able to pin him down, been able to get his feet close. Barnes has landed probably 2 or 3 little accurate punches that have been landed. There goes that left hand again. But I don't think Bami will be too upset with the fact he's getting his feet close, and he'll feel pretty soon his punches will be coming off. There we go.
Flinging out the jab, looking for the left hand. David Barnes.
Well, those were meaningful punches from Bami, and Barnes didn't like them too much.
Strong and rugged and rough and tough, Bami needs to impose himself on Barnes, who mentally might have to ask himself a couple of questions along the way. Psychologically, it's an interesting one.
I mean, it's only early days on the opening round, but Barnes pretty soon is going to have to put a bit more snap, a bit more devil into these fights. He's stealing the opening round, which will maybe give him that little bit of confidence that maybe his pre-fight chat suggests that he needs.
Bami can be sluggish. The speed you feel with Barnes, the boxing ability. He's going to have to work hard. Nick the first round, probably.
With 0% finance over 3 years and only 10% deposit on the McGann Hatch and Sport Hatch.
Look for that left hand to him. Don't do anything silly. Don't go into a wall with him. Frustrating. That's what it's all about. Frustrating. Get that right hand through the middle, like the jab. Keep to your left. Keep nice and tight and nice relaxed, right? You're doing absolutely perfect.
Perfect, Dave.
Don't get mixed up with the fight, right? Just do what you're doing. Right? Remember? Just keep to your left.
The corners are going to be very important tonight. The amiable Bob Shannon, the amiable James Cook. For Ted Bami, tactics, battle plans, it's one of those. A strategic affair for the vacant British light welterweight crown. The St George Cross and the white skirt as always for Barnes, and the blue and white preferred by Bami.
Well, Barnes is the one holding up close there. The head's
got close. There could be a cut here. There is. David Barnes' left eye. Cut. Second round.
Yeah, the heads came together right at the start of the round here.
Remember, under British rules, a cut finishes the fight. Doesn't go to the cards. Well, we have 3 judges at ringside. Should it go the distance? David Barnes did not need that.
Well, it's fired him up a little bit, Adam, because he's putting that bit of spite into the punches that was required. So maybe that's what's required, just to fire him up. Stepping in with the punches now, still counter-punching, but stepping in with those counters.
It's fired the fighters up, it's fired the crowd up too. Intense, close atmosphere here at the George Carnall Centre in Manchester. Real trade fight, got people talking, everybody's got their opinion.
Bami struggling to pin Barnes down, his movement's good. He's popping the punches out, making full use of the southpaw jab just to keep Bami off balance. He's not using the jab as a weapon, the left hand is his main weapon. But he's just keeping the southpaw jab in Bami's face just to keep him off balance, stop him setting anything up. There it is again.
Good left from David Barnes, partially blocked by Bami. He's light on his feet. The Manchester fighter trying to roll back the years and remind us of what he did to the likes of Kevin McIntyre and James Hare.
I think the main thing for Bami in the early rounds is not to waste energy, missing badly. He's just going to have to be patient because Barnes has started quickly. He's very elusive and his defences are tight, as you can see here. Didn't let anything through there.
Yeah, kept his guard well. Bami just trying to walk him down. Could come down to fitness. Who's prepared better?
Yeah, well, I would say Bami, until his punches start landing cleanly, just wants to pace himself. I mean, he's run out of steam a couple of times in fights, Bami. Either that or he loses interest. Can't afford to do that tonight.
One step back, straight away.
Yeah, he did in the middle rounds of his last appearance against Nicolas Guisset. Didn't impress ringsiders that night. Good left to end the second when Barnes is cut.
There goes, got it.
Quite a nasty slice.
Yeah, but it's happened right at the start of the round. The heads came together, purely unintentional, but really bad luck. I mean, there has been some messy action. Barnes has been clutching a little bit up close, and the heads came together. Really unfortunate. Hopefully it hasn't changed his game plan. But a couple of times the heads have come together, but no question that's the one that caused the cut. Unfortunate for David Barnes, but he's going to have to try and stick with whatever plan they took into the ring here. It's not a cut that would stop the fight, but it could change tactics.
Certainly could play on his mind, the old demons.
Round 3.
Here's a third round, 25th appearance for David Barnes. Just turned 27, still got time to rebuild that once so promising career. Ted Bami, who's been difficult to match over the years, a real danger man. He needs to come back too. That left looks sharp from Barnes tonight.
Yeah, that's his main weapon. He's just waving the jab in front of Bami, just to confuse him with it, then popping out the left. I have him stealing a couple of opening rounds. Probably in the opening round, Bami landed the more hurtful punches, but not enough of them. So he's the one who has to change things here.
Both fairly tight though, opening two. Patch the cut up well, above the left eye of Barnes. He's trying to get his jab going. The elusive style. Good work from Barnes.
See, Bami's winding up big punches, and against a cagey southpaw, you have to be putting punches out in bunches, 3s and 4s. Single shots, Barnes can deal with those all night long.
Drops his hands there, Ted Bami. Had a really good start against Giuseppe Larry when he came in. Had a couple of weeks' notice to win the European title. Defended it against Larry in a poor second meeting. But he can fade, can run out of ideas.
Barnes is boxing well. There's still a nervousness about his boxing, but that's probably adding to the sharpness of his reflexes. And the left hand is working a treat. Bami cannot get close. Taking far too long to get the punches off.
Complicated, intense character, David Barnes. Difficult to read. Heads clash again. Oh, good punch on the counter from David Barnes. His timing looks decent.
Yep, and Bami is far too predictable. I mean, we can see from here what he's trying to do. He's trying to wind up big right hands. They say that's the answer for the southpaw. I used to be a southpaw, and I remember left hooks giving me more problems.
Charges in again, Bami. Not particularly cultured or educational.
No, he's the aggressor, but it's not really effective aggression. He's getting close, but the sharpness of Barnes is not allowing him to do anything when he gets there. I have Barnes stealing another one.
He has the potential. This could be his year. But he must beat the best to become a master. A new season of Masters Tennis starts tomorrow, 6 p.m, Sky Sports Extra. Follow the biggest names as they go head-to-head in the ATP Masters Series, live only on Sky Sports.
Friday Fight Night back in a fortnight's time. Chris Edwards defends his British Super Flyweight title against Andy Bell. Also that night, world-class action from the States. Paul Casamayor faces the exciting lightweight Michael Castidis. That's Friday, March 28th, 9:30, Sky Sports 1.
Round 4.
Good start from David Barnes. Vacant British 10-stone belt on the line. And Ted Bami He's looked a bit clumsy coming in. He's got to be a bit smarter probably with Barnes. Maybe he thinks he can take him into the deep waters.
Yeah, it was just a little bit too predictable. Barnes is clutching a little bit up close, but Bami's allowing that to happen because he's taking too long to get the punches off. I mean, Barnes is really boxing well at the moment. Smoothness in his boxing now, not quite the jerky stuff we saw in the opening round. So maybe finding that confidence.
Absolutely. Combinations beginning to flow from David Barnes. The self-belief coming back into his work. We haven't seen it for a long while. That defeat to Joshua O'Kine, the real confidence then. Also Ali Mbembe, the draw, just a sticky patch in his career, but he promised he'd come back. He said he was better than that.
Well, I'm not saying he's reproducing the form that we saw 3 years ago or so. Not the same confidence in his boxing. I mean, he's really on the back foot here, but fair enough, it's been effective. But Bami's just a little bit too predictable and not yet posing any problems that Barnes can't deal with.
Can't get his jab going, Ted Bami. Being befuddled, outfoxed.
So he's winding up big right hands, and we can see from here what's coming. So a cutie like David Barnes he's going to know for sure what's on its way. Far too predictable. Needs a bit more imagination.
Good right from Barnes. Good body shot too. He's the better amateur. Has the technical skills. And he's boxing with some buoyancy here. The southpaw style and the speed giving Bami trouble.
Yeah, but the strange thing is it's the straight left cross is the most accurate punch coming from the southpaw Barnes. It's not the jab that's giving him the trouble. He's popping a lovely left hand here. It just, that one didn't find the target that so many have.
Bami swinging. James Cook nods his approval in the corner.
Well, at least Bami's tried to impose himself a little bit on his opponent this round. See, Barnes has been spoiling a fair amount up close, which you can't blame him for. So maybe eventually referee Foster just maybe beginning to pull him on that.
Just shook his right hand there as well. David Barnes had some problems in that department with injuries in the past. Bami just edging closer and a bit more effective at the end of that one.
Welcome to Beverly Hills, home of the rich and famous. Just look at the beautiful cars.
It's okay for today. They're gone.
The Renault Clio, an exterior sign of inner richness. Now appearing on a street near you. The Renault Clio, from £99 per month with no deposit. Typical 9.4% APR.
Done your cut.
Just nice and boxing move,
the
Dave.
two corners
boxing move.
work
don't
with
get
their
cornered.
charges.
Keep drinking.
You're getting your range,
David
though.
Barnes, head punches, impressive.
Your range, but don't back yourself up in the corner. You don't need to.
Yeah, well, Bami a bit more work in that round, a bit more success. Probably his best round of the fight so far, but still hasn't anything like turned this around.
Here's the fifth. 142nd in the career of David Barnes, 130th for Ted Bami. They've got plenty of power in that ring, but they're slightly wary of each other, especially Barnes early. Didn't want to get caught. Bami wouldn't have wanted Barnes to get into a rhythm.
Well, Bami has to be prepared to take punches, to stand in there and exchange. He's being outboxed, so he has to find a way of making Barnes exchange punches, and that's what he's trying to do now. Much more urgency in Bami's boxing now. He's not going to do it clean and tidy. He's going to have to draw him into more of a brawl.
They're targeting the body there, Bami in that last burst. I think endurance in the latter half of this fight could be key, could be crucial.
Dangerous with the head, he's going to be pulled up for that. He was rubbing the head, and it wasn't a butt, but he was rubbing it in.
Yep, Howard Foster straight on the case. Barnes already cut by the left eye in the second round from a head clash. They patched that up, and he's got back to his boxing. Lovely skills and speed from Barnes.
Yep, again, Bami being outboxed, far too predictable as he comes forward. He's trying to do it the hard way. He's not thinking what he's doing. Barnes looking quite smooth and comfortable at the moment.
Oh, lovely shots from David Barnes. Very accurate. No head movement from Bami.
I think the time may have come for Barnes to step in with some power in that left hand. He's landing it bang on target, landing it beautifully. So maybe with a bit more power in the shots, could get a result here. I mean, remember, Bami has been vulnerable a few times in his career. He's not rock solid in the chin department, so a bit more power in those shots. Who knows, David Barnes could get a result.
Yep, Bami was knocked out in 3 rounds by Samuel Malinga, and early on in his career by the Polish fighter Jacek Bielski. He has been in trouble.
And he has been shaken a couple of times, that's what I was about to say. So Barnes is finding the target, he's finding the time to get the punches off. Maybe step in with a bit more snap in them.
Sharp shooting, Barnes. Energy sapping as well as Bami just keeps on cutting and plodding forward. Lovely left from Barnes, who's boxing maybe the best he has in years. This is great from David Barnes.
With 0% finance over 3 years and only 10% deposit on the McGann Hatch and Sport Hatch.
Step back half a step and uppercut. He's wide open for the uppercut on the inside.
Yeah, and uppercut through the middle. Just all you got to do is coming for you. So you just count
The very content corner, Bob Shannon leading it.
Yeah, well, all the punches that you remember at the end of the rounds have come from David Barnes. The pressure from Bami, but not really effective pressure.
Andy Morris also in the corner, lost his British featherweight title fairly recently. He had another defeat with Kevin Anderson, losing to Kevin McIntyre a few weeks back. That might have affected David Barnes, who sparred with Anderson, but tonight he looks right on top. In front of the home crowd. Boxing well. What can Bami do? Has he got another game plan?
Has to show a little bit more imagination. He's far too predictable. He's trying to wind up single punches. I mean, he's facing a cagey southpaw who he can't pin down, and he's doing the same things here that we're working in the opening round. Time to come up with something else. But just plodding forward, hoping for one big punch to turn things around.
One-dimensional performance so far from Ted Bami. Can he conjure up anything else? Otherwise there's going to be no somersault flips at the end of celebration for the Brixton Barber.
Yeah,
wonderful.
Lovely left hand again. I mean, that's the punch all the way through. It's not been the southpaw jab that's caused all the problem for Bami. It's that well-timed left cross.
I think the nerves beforehand were a good sign. Barnes is accurate, he is firing, and he does believe he can be a champion again.
Well, I still feel it's time to start stepping forward with that left hand and try to knock Bami back with it. I mean, he's landing it perfectly on the target, seldom misses with it. So time maybe to try to do some damage with it as well.
Watch the edge, come
got his mind on the job this time, David Barnes. He's been AWOL in the past, had trouble with the army, split with Brian Hughes, his mentor. Had a spell with Anthony Carnall, now settled with Bob Shannon, but he's caught just there. Cheeky shot from Bami, needs to be careful.
Barnes is spoiling well up close to him, and Bami does get in. Bami's coming too close to him, and his work's been spoiled. This is a good little burst from Bami here.
Determined sort two, Ted Bami, trained very hard for this.
Well, that was a strict warning from Howard Foster to Ted Bami about the head again. Picked off two beautiful punches from Barnes again. There's that head again, although I think Barnes exaggerated the impact a little bit. I think maybe a little bit of play acting from David Barnes there.
Good first half to the sixth from Barnes. Bami's come back. Vacant British light welterweight title on the line, and it was given up by Colin Lynes, who's gone on to bigger and better things. European champion, he's with Ed Robinson.
Well, Colin, has David Barnes got his tactics spot on this evening?
He definitely has, Ed. He's definitely stealing the rounds with his counter-punching. Ted is stalking him down, which is what I expected Ted to do, but once he gets him where he wants him, he's not getting 3 or 4 punches together. Unfortunately, Ted is looking for the big bomb, but David Barnes has got to stay focused, because one of them bombs connects later on in the rounds. You know, it's anyone's fight. So Barnes needs to keep his focus, and Ted needs to keep working, keep stalking him down, but please get 3 or 4 punches in there, not just the one big bomb.
You think Bami needs to show more urgency? The problem is he's walking onto the left, isn't he?
He does, but by the looks of it, as the rounds are ticking by, he's sort of getting desperate and he's charging in. He's still got to keep his composure as he comes in. Instead of just recklessly charging in, he needs to still stalk in, but intelligently.
Thanks, Colin.
One of the real success stories of the last 15 months or so, Colin Lynes, ranked about 4 in Britain. Ricky Hatton, number 1, of course, up in the studio. They're here to see this match. It's got people talking. Ted Bami, probably 5th in the country, and David Barnes 10th. But Barnes is getting the better of things.
Well, I think it's caution to the wind time for Ted Bami. He's not going to outbox Barnes. I think everybody's agreed to that fact. So he's going to have to just get some punches off. It can be crude, but it's going to have to be effective. He's still trying to wind up one single shot, just as Colin Lynes was saying. That's what he's been doing all the way through, trying to turn it around with a single shot. And against a cute southpaw, this is what you're going to get.
Lovely right from David Barnes. Just wobbled Bami momentarily, starting to dig a bit more here.
Well, I have to remember, Barnes has spent his whole career facing welterweights, and he was hurting welterweights, so there's no reason he can't be stepping in with the punches and hurting Ted Bami, who's been hurt before. So maybe just a bit more positive approach from Barnes. He could maybe start taking charge in this fight instead of doing it off the back foot, although it's been effective.
I think the team were worried about the Bami charge early. Now he's survived that. Is he going to get more meat into these punches, David Barnes? Because he's hitting the target, he's got the accuracy, and Bami looks so open at times.
I mean, Bami at times looks as though he's forgetting everything he's ever been taught about boxing. He's just so crude and predictable. I mean, this is a former European champion. He's not boxing like a nice uppercut from Barnes. I mean, the action's a bit messy here, but still Barnes not taking anything cleanly.
He's beginning to clip Ted Bami, who hasn't used a jab at all tonight. I mean, he wasn't a bad amateur with the Fitzroy Lodge Club in London.
Yeah, there's just panic in his boxing now, I think. At a time when he needed a bit more thought, a bit more method, I think there's just panic that's setting in.
So far, Barnes looks very strong at the weight. Punching with authority and outsmarting Ted Bami.
I mean, Bami is really putting so much into this, but he's missing so much, no accuracy. And just the clipping little punches Barnes keeps coming back with. There's Barnes exaggerating the problems with Bami's head again.
And as Bami rushes in, those counters could double the effect unless he gets his gloves up.
Right step back. One step back.
Well, fair bit of spoiling from Barnes now.
Fabulous Friday fight night. Fans are loving this. David Barnes, we think winning quite handily. Plenty ahead for you to enjoy for the remainder of the evening.
I'll do that.
Young Muttley, he's still got a big part to play in the British picture back at welterweight up against Kevin Placide from the West Indies, and John Donnelly, a young super bantamweight hope from Liverpool, up against the very tough and determined Tony McQuaid. Good action. This one is by no means over yet, but impressive statistics on the right side there.
Yeah, well, so much aggression, so much effort from Bami, but just nothing really effective. Look at the miss, he's missing badly in every round, just signs of total frustration in every round, just can't pin Barnes down.
Round 8.
David Barnes won the British welterweight title, albeit a little bit controversially, in the summer of 2003. Just the round where he defended that against Kevin McIntyre. Is he going to start putting the pedal down as Bami lunges in?
I mean, Bami is still physically very strong, which is probably the main reason Barnes doesn't want to start coming forward. And maybe the fact that he feels what he's doing is working anyway, don't change it. I feel he has the power to hurt Bami.
I think you're right, he's punch picking, and I think he is. Just getting through now. And Bami's chin, will it stand up?
And the left hand working a treat again from Barnes. I mean, it hasn't failed him all night long.
Concentration's been good too, hasn't mentally folded at any time.
Yeah, and I think the fact that he was very nervous beforehand, that obviously helps the concentration. He knows one mistake, it could be all over.
Not quite as quick maybe as he once was, David Barnes. But the speed is still troubling Bami. Courageously, the Brixton man comes on strong.
Couple of good body shots from Bami there. I don't know if that's a switch in tactics.
He's got to do something different, Jim.
Yeah, well, he's trying to shorten the punches when he's up close now. A big gulp of air from Bami there.
How comfortable is Barnes with his 10-stone weight? Probably about 10-10 on the night. Rehydrated very well. Good left, crisp, clinical. Bami walked straight into that.
Not quite so much work from Barnes in this round. These are times when he could be stepping forward with that left hand. I mean, he never misses with it. Just step forward with it now and again. Just test out Bami's chin. See if he has the power to hurt him.
Oh, lovely shot though from David Barnes. Backed up in the neutral corner. Bami beckons it in, but I think that's a bad sign. Brave and spirited, Ted Bami, but nothing much is going right against a rejuvenated and refreshed David Barnes.
Yeah, and everything Bami has done has been forced, so signs are he's running out of steam here.
The new British champion.
Close your eyes, Dave, close your eyes.
Come on, let me see it, let me see it.
Different class, David.
Come on,
beautiful.
Shut down. Listen.
Come to all of this fight, okay? And he's kidding you to this fight. You understand me?
Breathe up, Ted, breathe up.
Okay?
Suck it up.
Breathe up.
Suck it up.
I mean, you're not seeing what's going on. You're seeing the punches, then, but then the time you see, he's taking his shot, right? And he's getting you every time.
Total contrast in the corners now.
Yeah, not a happy corner over in Bami's direction because he's doing everything wrong. Everything is predictable. Everything is forced. what he was doing in the opening round didn't work for some reason. He stuck with it and just tried harder at what he was doing.
Keep tight.
Barnes really boxing well all the way through.
Right up through the middle. You're listening. You listen, right? Let's go. Come on now.
Bob Shannon just wants to make sure he's listening. Concentration must be kept intact. They're saying different class. They're saying in the new, but there's 4 rounds to go, and he's got to stick to the job. Done brilliantly so far, though, hasn't he, Barnes?
He certainly has. And I think the problem for Bami, everything he's done has been forced. So he's using more steam. When things are coming smoothly, you'll ask the pace better. Well, nothing has been smooth for Bami. Forced, winding up big shots, missing arms and shoulders, nothing clean. So he must now start looking for the knockout. Nothing else is going to get him out of trouble here.
Got out of trouble when he knocked out Bradley Price.
That was a low punch.
Meeting. That was low. Howard Foster might have a word, but doesn't. So Bami's still dangerous. Surely Barnes won't let him off the hook now. And listen to this crowd, Jim, as well, getting behind him again.
Yeah, well, they're happy. They like what they're seeing. Barnes is actually trying to come forward now. And I think it would be so much more effective if he stepped towards Bami, because it looks to me like he has the power to trouble him.
Bami closes the quarters again. Maybe Barnes just doesn't want to risk it. A touch of safety first, and you probably can't blame him for that.
Well, when things are going so well, and especially in a title fight, obviously, the main thing is the results. You don't want to change it.
Nothing from Bami here. Tries the body. Howard Foster says keep them up.
Oh no, both of you.
It's going to be desperation time, surely, for Bami. Some of the early rounds close, but the general feeling is that Barnes has nicked most of them.
Yeah, whatever clean boxing we've seen tonight has come from David Barnes. It's been a struggle. A couple of rounds maybe on effort you could have felt to lean towards Bami, but never really has he taken a grip of things, never has he taken charge. He's always struggled with the style of Barnes.
Come on, sort it out. Right, step back. One step back, time out. Come here. Both of you, both holding, you're both going in with them heads.
Both holding. They must be getting tired. It's been some pace. 5 low-key wins for David Barnes since Joshua O'Kine. He's needed this sort of challenge to get him up. Planting his feet, flicking out the jab. At last, a jab from Bami. Close round. Prestigious title. This 10-stone domestic belt. 76-77. Dave Boy Green went on to fight Sugar Ray Leonard and Carlos Palomino, of course. Vincent McKenzie from 78 to 89, part of that terrific South London fighting family.
You let him in a bit in that round then.
Terry Marsh, retired unbeaten, became the IBF World Champion from Basildon. The Black Flash, Pat Barrett, who's here tonight, one of the biggest punchers produced by England, Manchester favourite.
All I want to see now, David.
Okay. Yeah,
because of course, Andy Holligan, two-time British champ, fought the great Julio Cesar Chavez. Can always tell his grandkids that. Ricky Hatton here tonight, maybe the best ever holder of this title. And Junior Witter, current WBC World Champion. He's done ever so well as well, Witter. Terrific 10-stone division over the years and now.
Yeah, and it is a real competitive division at the moment, so the winner tonight can go anywhere down the list and we'll see a competitive match.
Are there any more tricks that Ted Bami can try? He looks frustrated. James Cook's body language is not good in that blue corner. He's giving it everything. He's not technically good enough tonight, Jim.
That's the big problem. I don't know what plan they come in with. But you can't wind up big right hands and throw single punches to a cagey southpaw, and that's what he's been trying. He hasn't changed it. He's trying to manhandle Barnes now.
They might have thought that they would break David Barnes mentally, that he'd unravel. Not a sign of that. More confidence now. He's being urged in, David Barnes.
Yeah, well, his corner are waving them forward, and I've been saying for the last few rounds, it's worth a try. Get the chin down, the hands up, and start marching forward, get a bit more snap into the punches. Bami is looking very tired, so he can't muster the same power that he was capable of.
Nothing panicky about Barnes's performance. Sensible operation. Can't afford to lose this.
Break, step back. One step back.
Bami never lost his European title in the ring. Maybe he could come again. But for Barnes, I think they knew beforehand, Jim, lose this and there's no real way back.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the surprising thing for me is the fact that Bami hasn't ever looked like European title class with his approach, with his, his lack of boxing skills tonight. He's been so predictable. He's everything the hard way. He's picked off again.
Quick shots from David Barnes. I'm sure Ricky Hatton up in the studio is proud of David Barnes. He once said to me he was the most talented junior amateur that he ever saw.
Well, certainly no shortage of skill there. Bursting with talent. Now he's finding his confidence, and we're seeing that talent put to good use.
Won a Lonsdale belt outright at 10 stone 7, but we think he become the first fighter to go down and win a British 10 stone belt. Not sure anyone else that's done that.
And he's still looking fit and strong. Barnes, one of the big questions, would he be strong at 10 stone? No signs of any problems coming from him.
Frustration from 10 Bami.
How do you feel, Dave?
And there is
Listen, Dave.
so much more still ahead for you to enjoy, as well as this British title fight. Young Muttley back. We hope with a bang against Kevin Placide, John Donnelly, Tony McQuaid. Good match that in the 8 stone 10 division. Let's listen to Bob Shannon. Barnes has thrown so many, he's landed over double. I mean, they don't lie, these stats.
No, and it just shows that Bami has lacked accuracy all the way through. A couple of rounds you could have swayed towards them just on sheer pressure and work rate. But I still feel in every round, Barnes is the one producing the boxing, the clean-cut boxing. And that's reflected in my scorecard. I've given Bami a share of a couple of rounds, so even if you give him those rounds, Barnes is still comfortably in front.
Phil Edwards, Dave Paris and Mickey Van just in front of us. I'm sure we'll have similar cards. It's been much more one-sided than those odds at the beginning.
Well, the fact that Bami has always been coming forward, always pressing the action. I mean, in close rounds, sometimes it can sway you towards, giving him the benefit of the doubt. But I just feel he's never had any accuracy in his punching. He's been walking onto the left hand all the way through, just as he's doing now.
Yet determined, Ted Bami, but not skillful enough to defuse David Barnes, who's firing again.
Still everything forced from Bami, no rhythm, nothing. Timing off, technique a mile off.
James Cook is always looking for rhythm in his training sessions. Bami just hasn't had that disjointed, clumsy performance. And as you said, he won the European title against a decent competitor in Giuseppe Lowry. He came in maybe with more experience at a higher level.
Well, this is the best little spell we've seen from him, digging the shots in now. So now he knows, or he must know, a knockout is required. These are good, solid punches from Bami.
He's produced a few knockouts when it's mattered, but nothing since February 2006. Good shot from Barnes. Throws that uppercut nicely.
Come on, don't hold, Bami. Come on, work it out. Let him go, let him go. Don't hold, Bami, let him go.
Bami trying to dig some body shots in, but Barnes is so good up close at spoiling, just stopping him from doing anything effective.
Legs moving well. Hats off to Bob Shannon and the team. Running snake pass and the like. Rededicated himself, David Barnes, after his problems. And showing glimpses of what got everybody so excited about a few years ago. Close around. Did Bami pinch it? He needs more than that, surely.
If you want this, it's now or never, son.
You ever do fucking need a punch to win a fight?
Excuse the language.
Alright? Just not. He's crowd you, he grab you. He crowd you, he grab you. Okay? He's shoving you all over the place. You've got no balance. Alright? If you ever need it, you have to find it now. You understand me?
And just straight punches, Dave.
On your toes and stuck at that jab through the middle.
Just straight punches, nothing else.
Don't let it get on the rope for you. Turning, you're too skillful, right? You need to be a British champion if you do it. Long arm. What does that mean to you? Hey. So that's what you're going to have.
Straight. When you reach there, you've got to find the shot. Okay? When you roll, you come up, bloody hit. Don't come up. Hit it from down there. You understand me? Okay? Whatever you do.
Let's have it, Dave.
Cracking insight there. David Barnes says, it means more to me than anything in the world. These 3 minutes. Bami needs the knockout. We're sure of that. And David Barnes just needs to keep his boxing together. And he will have come back in some style, Jim.
Yeah, well, I think Bami's corner, James Cook summed it up perfectly. If ever he needed a big punch to win a fight, it's now. He says he's been catching you and grabbing you, and that's what he's been doing, getting his own punches off and not allowing Bami to come back with anything. The tactics have been perfect. Not always pretty, maybe, but very, very effective.
11 knockouts, Bami in his 23 wins. Remember this, the round that David Barnes finally succumbed to Joshua O'Kane. But he was being outboxed pretty much all the way through that. Barnes didn't turn up that night, and he has tonight. He's not going to let this slip, Jim, surely.
No, and there's more confidence now in the last round. Now he's the confidence of knowing. Remember, he came in here never having boxed at 10 stone before. So, deserves even more credit when you consider that.
When you take into account the lack of title action David Barnes has had and the critics and the difficulties out of the ring, I think it's a credit to him and his team that he's come back and performed when it matters.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting the result. I'm not saying he's back to his best, maybe not even anything like it. I mean, there's not the same authority in his boxing as we saw 2 or 3 years ago, but he's been through a shaky time, he's confident, he's rebuilding, and this is the kind of night that can go a long way to do that.
He's the type of fighter who will look back at this and his confidence will grow again. I agree, I don't think he is quite what he was, but he's been good tonight.
The talent is obviously still there, it's the confidence, but this will bring the confidence back. But Bami doesn't really look like a man whose life depends on landing a big shot in this last round. He's still can't get into range. Not the urgency you would expect after the 11 rounds that's gone before.
Didn't panic when he was cut in the second round. David Barnes stuck to his game plan, and he's 30 seconds away. And a bit like last week in Nottingham, when that final bell goes, this place will erupt.
Well, it actually looks as though Ted Bami has settled for defeat, because we're in the last half minute and we're seeing a bit of urgency. But where was it the full 3 minutes of the 12th round, where his own corner have told him he's losing?
Razzle-dazzle from David Barnes to finish what has been at times a beautiful exhibition. The two fighters embrace, and surely David Barnes will be a British champion again at light welterweight. Fabulous stuff.
Tremendous performance when everything is considered. As I said a few seconds ago, not vintage David Barnes, but tonight a result was required. Title fight, and congratulations to him. He got his tactics right, he stuck with him. He was very nervous, especially in the early rounds. But the longer it went, the more comfortable he was looking. The punches were working, everything he did was working. Quite the opposite, Ted Bami's boxing, completely outboxed.
Bami's smiling, but you're right. Did he go for it enough? Was he technically good enough?
Well, I think Bami went into the ring thinking eventually the strength and power will start taking control and taking effect on David Barnes. But everything he did was forced, everything he did was predictable, and he was being caught. That's the right hook that's catching him here, but all through the fight, straight left, so simple, straight left, there it is from the southpaw stance, pinned him bang on the chin and kept knocking him off balance. I felt if Barnes had started going forward earlier, who knows, it could have been an even easier night for him. But sticking to the job, getting the result was what he decided to do. His corner told him to do that. And even in the last round, when Bami definitely needed to knock out his own corner, had told him wasn't enough urgency. It's as though he'd settled that bad night, going to lose, nothing I can do about it. You can see his face, that tells the story.
Ladies and gentlemen, the three judges' scores. Judge Philip Woods 119, 110. Judge Dave Paris 117, 111. Judge Mickey Van 117, 111. All three judges are in favour of the winner from the beautiful city of Manchester, David Barnes.
Tears of joy, elation for David Barnes, the British light welterweight champion. He's done it. Congratulations, he boxed terrifically well.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you'd like to show your appreciation of a very game challenger indeed. From Brixton, South London, Ted Bami.
Manchester celebrates. We'll be talking to David Barnes in just a couple of moments' time. We'll get the thoughts too of Glenn McCrory and